Hi everyone, my name is Melissa and welcome to the Wholesome Haven. With Mother's Day right around the corner, I thought it'd be such a wonderful idea to share some meaningful Mother's Day crafts that you can give to Mom this Mother's Day. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 5 Mother's Day crafts. So grab your craft supplies, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this first craft. I've got my E6000 and my paper towel. I'll show you what I do with those in just a moment. So I bought this backer probably years ago because it was on sale at Michael's. I don't even remember how much it was at the time. I think it was maybe 2 for $10 or 3 for $10 or, you know, XYZ% off. But anyway, I wanted to get these and I found them in my craft room and I was like, these have been here for just too long. I want to make something from them. So I figured with Mother's Day coming up and I've got a couple of events, I've got a couple vendor events, I just figured I will make something kind of for Mother's Day. So I'm going to go ahead and get these gluing. I mean, and if I'm sure that most of you can totally understand that we see these blanks and we just get so excited and we just want to buy them. But that's what I do. But I see such a good deal, you know, and you can't pass it up sometimes. So what I'm doing here is, I mean, if you're not familiar with E6000, it's got a semi-permanent bond. I do love E6000 over like doing a super glue because there's some play. So if I mess things up, I can just realign and it dries clear. And not only does it dry clear, but if you do have some squeeze out, you can clean it up a lot easier than you could with super glue. Because super glue, I mean, obviously it has, I think like a 10 to 20 second bond time. And so, I mean, I can just cruise right through this because I don't have to spend those extra seconds just, you know, perfectly aligning and got a little string. But all that, I mean, I know that E6000 is very stringy and I don't like hot glue for that reason. But I just feel like the benefits of E6000 versus the super glue is a lot better for me because I like to be able to know that I can adjust, excuse me, as needed. And then I take that little paper towel and sometimes, you know, you can get a small enough amount on that I don't feel like I'll need to use the paper towel, but I like to use the paper towel because it helps with the extra sticky bits. You know, if you get a little bit too much on there, the paper towel helps to get some of that off. So I can just cruise right through this. Boop, 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 boop. You know, and the E6000 makes the process just so much less stressful. But if you have another glue that you prefer, let me know in the comments because I'd love to try it. I mean, I think that the gluing is often, I don't want to say always, but often something that a lot of us get really nervous about, right? But that's, like I said, like that's what I love about the E6000 is I can move it because I can't tell you how many projects I've not particularly ruined, but I know that something is wonky, so it's ruined for me. You know, an L gets a little crooked or an I gets a little crooked, and I do that sometimes. And then I kick myself because I know that I should just use E6000. Okay, so I'm finishing up this, and as I finish this up, I forgot to mention that I used my laser to cut these pieces out. So if you have like a Glowforge or an X tool or whatever it is, you can cut these things out. And then over time, I think that my goal is to be able to have these things available to you if you're in a position where either you don't care to learn a laser Okay. Well, I will have these things for you at some point, but for right now, I'm just going to give you some ideas. And of course, you could use vinyl for this. There are so many options because, I mean, it's still just a super cute sign. I mean, if you've got the maker, you can use very thin wood to cut it. I mean, hindsight 2020 for this. I mean, food for thought. I don't think I would have used 1/4 inch MDF for this. I think it's a little bit too thick. I think I would have maybe used even an 1/8 MDF or some birch or balsa wood would have been fine too, like a 3mm, 1/8 of an inch, 3mm, or a 1/16 of an inch even would have been fine. Because it doesn't really matter. You don't really need this much dimension on this, right? So, sorry, I just spilled a little bit of my paint. So there's two options. So there's actually multiple options. So one, you could paint the piece of wood and then cut these things, which yes, could be easier. Could be easier. Because then you have everything cut out and ready, right? Or you can cut them out, paint them, and then glue them. That's probably the hardest, right? Because you got to paint each individual piece. But what I'm doing here, so here's my concept. Goodness, I can't even think of how to speak. My mentality on all this, I don't like wasting materials. And I feel like if I were to paint a whole thing black, a whole piece of material black, and then cut it, now my scraps are in black. So I would either have to wait until I needed like a project in black, or I would just never be able to use those pieces. You know, I was able to put all these together, and then you also could just make the file, cut out the material that you know that you're going to need, and then paint that. But that's just all so much work. I feel like you're getting into a lot of work to save the pieces. And I mean, you just watched. It did not take me that long to go ahead and glue everything down. So I want to make sure that I save all my materials. And then I'm just going to take this foam brush and I'm just going to dab. And the thing that I like about these, so these ones are a little bit stiffer. I don't remember where I got this one, but I will look. And of course I will link everything that I use down in the description box below so that you guys can go and get them. But I like these particular ones because they're a little bit stiffer. So if you have one that's really soft, and if you are gluing and then painting, then it's going to get on your surface, right? Because it's going to depress past the height of your letters and it's going to touch the surface. So I like these because they're a little bit stiffer and I can go ahead and just gently dab, 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 dab. I'm using a BEHR Dynasty sample paint. I actually like to use real interior exterior paints over acrylic paints. I mean, I obviously use acrylic paints for various projects, but I just feel like the BEHR paints are a little bit more self-leveling and they're ultimately ounce for ounce about the same price. So especially in like the main colors, black, white, red, green, orange, right? Like holiday colors. I think it just makes sense to go ahead and just get a larger sample size. So look how cute this is turning out. I am loving this. Like I said, I think that the 1/4 inch MDF might have been a little bit too much, but I don't regret it. No regrets on this. Okay, I am almost done here. Look at that. Look how cute this is. Oh, look at how that is. I think that's super cute. Okay, I mean, it's kind of hard to see the made with love piece here, but that's there. It's cute. There you go. You can see it. Okay, for the next project, I have a little tag for us to make Just something very simple, but again, I think they're gonna be super cute. So I do vendor events, I do craft fairs, and I think, so I have 2 craft fairs coming up. And I think that I'm going to use these. I'm gonna make maybe like 10 or 12 of them to sell for Mother's Day, because they're just so cute. Yeah, and if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I will go over what I'm gonna bring to my craft fair, and then I will go over what sold, what didn't, any feedback I got, and then that way you can make adjustments if you want to bring these items to your fairs. But of course it depends on where you are, it depends on who your customers are. You know, because that first sign that we did, I think maybe is a little more farmhousey vibe. So if you're in big suburbia or like a city, perhaps not gonna be the best thing to sell, but make sure that you are subscribed and you have notifications, and that way we can go over how much we're gonna sell things for, what sells, what doesn't. Because these items that I'm making, I do plan on bringing to my events. Oh goodness, I'm messing up the E. Okay. It is pretty dicey. So the E got messed up, and that's okay, because I can just get another one. Okay, let me get another E. Okay, a little reconstructive surgery. Beautiful. Okay. Let me cut this down a little bit as well. We are just using the extras, using our scraps. Okay. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take my Mother's Day. Okay. And then I'm going to take these leaves. Sorry, I'm going to stop throwing things on my mat, I promise. Okay. I'm going to take my leaves. I'm going to very, very delicately, very gently try to get in here. Okay. Oh goodness. All right. Okay. And this was perfect because I did have a couple of yellow scraps and a couple of green scraps. So I love when I'm able to shop my craft bin, or my scrap bin, not my craft bin, my scrap bin. Okay. Okay, similar concept. Okay, so I think I am crooked. Okay. So it's gonna be easier if I just go one at a time here. Oh goodness. Okay, and if you didn't know, vinyl does expire. And when it expires, this is what happens. It's both very difficult to weed, and it doesn't want to stick to transfer tape. It sticks very much to its backer. However, it doesn't mean you can't use it. It just means it's going to be difficult. Okay. Another little flower. I've noticed that with expired vinyl, again, it's not impossible to use, it's actually just more difficult to use. So, should I have thrown these scraps away? Maybe, but I really just don't like throwing away vinyl. I really don't. You know, I love to use every last little piece, so that's okay. I'm okay with using it. I've noticed that when I use it, it doesn't have a hard time sticking to the substrate. Oh goodness. It really just wants to stick to the backer is the biggest problem. And again, I don't think that's that big of a problem myself. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that you should throw away your vinyl, or do you think that you should keep it? Just let me know. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to, I like to align these on my mat, and the perfect thing is that it is see-through so that I can see. So I see Mother's Day right there, and I can see where I'm going to place it and making sure that it is, if not totally even, then at least mostly even. Okay. I think that looks good to me. Okay. All right, and there's one last little bit that I'm gonna put on this. It's just gonna be easier to place as a sticker than as a decal. So I'm gonna put this back on here because if you didn't know, you can use transfer tape very many times. And I love this transfer tape because I think you can use it like 5 or 6 times is what I think I've noticed. I know, it's truly very many times. So you don't have to waste anything, you know, and you don't have to use it all the time. I actually, in my scrap bin, I have a transfer tape scrap and then a used transfer tape scrap because I can use it a couple of times. So okay, and again, I'm gonna get one more star. Okay. So far, so cute. And here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab some twine. So I'm going to cut, I like to do about 10 inches. Again, I told you I would stop throwing things on my mat. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and loop it through like that. And then I'm going to take these 2 beads . Here you go. I'm gonna loop them through like that, tie it off. Okay, and there you go. And then let's go ahead and take off this back side. Okay, rip that off around there. It's all fine. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I am very excited for this next project. I'm mostly excited because I want to see how it turns out. So what I have here is I have a 4-layered, oh goodness, mandala. And I'm going to paint all 4. I have 2 of these. I'm going to paint, one as a brunette and one as a blonde. And of course I should paint a redhead, but I don't think I have time for that. So I'm going to paint a brunette and a blonde. And I'm really excited to see how these go. So I am gonna use acrylic paints for these because of how many colors I think I wanna make. And I think I'm gonna have to do a lot of mixing. So I have these really cute little containers. I think I got them off Amazon. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and link everything below. And as you can see, I label all the tops of my paints so that if I'm looking down on them, I can see them. But okay, so I think that what I want to do is bottom to top, I want to do dark brown and then lighter browns as they come up. So there are some loose hair pieces in here, so I'm going to actually try to keep all of these together. It's going to be like a little puzzle. All right, and I'm going to start with my base one, and I think what I'm going to do is, look how cute this is going to be. Oh, I'm so excited. So I'm going to do a dark brown up here, and then I want to do like a red, white, and blue for the sunglasses, because at the time, right now, it's April, and 4th of July is coming up. So I think I'm going to do red, white, and blue on this one, and I think for the blonde one, I think I'm going to do like a pink variation. But anyway, like I said, make sure that you subscribe so that you can see what the blonde one's going to look like, and I'm going to talk about how much I'm going to sell these for, and if they even sell. Who knows? Maybe I think they're super cute, but maybe they're really not. So I'm going to put a lot of brown in here because I'm going to use this to adjust colors. And I hope that I don't need a bunch of, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to need a lot of coats. So this is going to take a really long time, and I'm going to go ahead and skip through a lot of the boring parts. But this is also on 1/4 inch MDF, and I really may regret it. Actually, I think I may want this a little bit darker. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think that I might regret how thick it is, only because I think that you're going to miss out on a lot of the detail, but it may actually make these color variations look cool. So we will see. And I'm just getting a rough base coat on here first. I maybe could have put some gesso on it, but I will try that with the next one. These paints are going to go on very thin, and that's okay. I did cut myself a little keyhole in this one, as you can see, so that it could be hung, and I don't have to worry about putting my own hanging mechanism on it. I just cut it right out on the laser. And I got this off of Etsy, and I will link the shop that I got it at. And if you sell files and you have a cool file that you want me to make, you go ahead and let me know. I'll happily buy it from you if it's something cool, if it's something I think I could sell to my own market. Oh goodness. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go around these glasses. Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna paint this one brown, and I will see you guys when I come back. Okay, my brown is done. I'm gonna leave this for now to dry. I am going to take my next one, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add some white to this. Okay, now that I have all of these painted, I went back through with my little spongy dabbing method because I just wanted to get one coat on all of these, excuse me, with the paintbrush, and then I went ahead and did dabbing for everything else. I'm gonna let these dry a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna go in, and like I said, I'm gonna do red, white, and blue with the sunglasses. So I'm gonna start with the top, I'm gonna let these two dry, and let's go ahead and paint these ones. Okay, so on this one, I'm gonna do the rims of the sunglasses black. So I don't think I need a whole tray for it. Okay, just gonna do this very gently. Okay. Okay, so I've got all 4 of my pieces painted, and let's go ahead and assemble these and see what they look like. Okay, so I still think it's super, super cute. I do still really love it, but it didn't turn out quite how I thought it was. Because the wood is so thick, you can't see as much of the blue and red sunglasses as I thought. So I think what I want to do is do some real-time adjustments. And this is full transparency. This is what it looks like in my craft room, right? So I don't like this as much. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find a way to adjust these. Like I said before, if I would have used 3mm birch, I think this would not have been a problem, and I think this really could have looked the way that I wanted it to look. But because it's so thick, you just can't see it, and that's okay. But I'm going to take this bit of glitter vinyl, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put it under here, and maybe that'll work, and maybe that'll be cool. Or should I put it under this one? I think I'll cut it out, and I think that I will see. Okay, I think I do really love this. I think this is a lot cuter than even the red, white, and blue. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this, but I'm realistic in that I don't think this would sell. But we will see. And like I said, subscribe. Let's see if it sells together. I'm still gonna try because I'm curious now. But if this goes on my wall in my shop, I'm not upset about it because I think it's super cute. Okay, let's glue this up. If you do have a laser, I mean, if you have any questions about the keyholes, definitely let me know in the comments, because if you can see on this back side, I just made this shape. All I did was a circle, and I just drug it to make this top bit. And then I made another circle and I just welded the two pieces together. And then I put a square on this side. You can't really see that it's square. Yeah, there you go. So it's square on this side, just so that when you put like a thumbtack or a nail through, there's some space for it. And this didn't really matter because it's gonna get covered up. So if you have any questions on how to do keyholes, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video if you guys wanna know enough. I don't claim to be an expert on anything, but I know enough. So, and I actually still love this. I still think that it is super duper cute. I actually love the shades. I'm grateful that that worked out the way that it did. Okay, my next craft, I am very excited about it. This cup, I have a glass mug. Ooh, loud. And I'm gonna do an armor etch project. If you're not familiar with armor etch, this is a glass etching cream. I love it. And as a person who has multiple lasers, I actually like using armor etch better than a laser, because the laser actually does scratch into the surface and it is actually rather inconsistent. I don't particularly enjoy what it looks like. It doesn't look bad, but when you use the armor etch, it's a very consistent etch, and I think it looks incredible. Okay, this is not something I think I need a whole new transfer tape. This is just a scrap that I have on hand. Super convenient. Okay. Tidy up my area. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do first here is clean my surface. Okay, I'm just making sure that the handle is parallel, but I do not have a fancy, what do they call them? Like the cup holders? I'm not even really sure what they're called, to be quite honest. But I am going to just cut these edges, and what that does is it makes it a little bit more malleable. And that way I am able to try to get around the curvature of this cup a little bit better, because this cup is all kinds of shapes. So let's just make sure that I can get it. Oop. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so I start to really curve here and here. So I'm still a little bit larger than that, and that's all right with me. Okay, so I'm gonna go middle out, okay? And I'm gonna do one side at a time. I'm not gonna do the both, and then I'm actually gonna go this way. Okay, cool. Make sure that my crease was in between messy and bun here. I know you can't really see, you can't really read it as well. Okay, and then I need to confirm that my crease on this one is actually going to be in between gangsta and wrap. So there we go. Okay, so I am going to work this crease in between need and A, because all I care about is that the vinyl is down surrounding the word. So as you can see, like as long as the creases are fine, as long as the vinyl is down around the letter, that's fine. And when we pull this off, we'll be able to adjust that a little bit more. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to peel the transfer tape. Okay, so I got my transfer tape, and all I'm doing now is I'm taking my weeding tool and I'm going to press. So if you see, like right here, there's a little overlap, a little bit of extra, just because it's a rounded surface. And I'm just going to take my weeding tool and I'm just going to press to make sure that the area around this D here is laid flat. So I'm making sure that all of the areas look like that. There's a couple of bigger ones that I was able to get flat. So now I'm going to take my armor etch, okay? So it's very simple instructions. So if you see, step 1, apply the stencil to a clean, dry, etchable glass object, which means it has to be glass. It can't be the acrylic, or oh my goodness, acrylic glass type of thing. It's got to be glass. And brush on a thick layer, wait 1 to 3 minutes, and then use running water, rinse it all off. So I wait more than 1 to 3 minutes actually. My window is open, so my room is ventilated. Make sure that you do use this in a ventilated area. Okay, so I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna gently, I don't brush, I dab. And the reason is if you brush, you're just more likely to kind of sweep some stuff underneath, some of the armor etch underneath your decal. Whereas if you just dab, then it's just a safer way to apply it. And we're gonna make sure that we get it a pretty thick coat. So what I usually do is I will normally wait about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I will actually move all of it around a little bit. So again, dab, 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 dab. I will move all of it around. And then that way I'm able to give second chance to any place that didn't get covered enough. So if you see these like lighter covered areas, I will just give those another wipe, if you will, another round. I think that's going to be good to leave for a minute. So I'm going to leave this for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to just kind of move everything around. All I'm going to do is kind of like dab like this on all of it, just to make sure. Some of the areas that are less covered, I'm just going to confirm has more coverage on it. All right, I'm going to leave that. All right, it's actually been about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and actually just go wash this off. I will bring you with me so that we can see together. Okay, so we're gonna wash this off, and I'm gonna use the same paintbrush that I used to apply it to wipe it off under running water. Okay, I'm gonna dry this off. Let's take it back to my craft room and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the finished product of the cup. You absolutely cannot see that. Here, let me use this. Let's do that. Can you see it? I guess a little bit better. But here's what the etch looks like. And this is why I like it so much better, is because it's a very even etch. Whereas the laser does remove a small amount of the glass on top, and it's a little more uneven and more difficult to read. So that's this one. I love it. I think it's super cute. I'm very happy with it. And I will probably set this out at my next event in a couple of weeks. So let's see how this one does. For my next craft, we are going to be doing some HTV on this shirt. I've had this for a really long time. And as you can see, the theme of this is that I've had a lot of these materials for such a long time and I wanted to use them up. So I love these shirts for shop shirts. They're very comfortable. I don't mind if they get dirty or stained, but I wanted to put just some cute, I guess, decorations on it, if you will. So I don't have that much, I really don't have any Boy Mom materials. So I'm gonna make this a little Boy Mom shirt. So I think it's super cute. I love the pocket, and the pocket was super exciting for me because I was able to put this on it. So we're gonna do this in multiple steps, but the first thing I need to do is, all I need to do is go into the Cricut app, hit more, go to heat guide. I'm gonna use my small, I actually love this. I have the larger one, but I actually love the small Cricut, the little heat press. Okay, let's exit out of all this. Okay, so I'm gonna go heat guide. I'm gonna go Cricut Easy Mini Press. Okay, the material is 100% cotton. So everyday iron-on, the base material is 100% cotton. Apply. So I'm going to preheat for 5 seconds, medium for 25 seconds, flip and press for 15 seconds. Slowly remove liner. It's going to be a cool peel. Okay, so very easy to find these if you didn't know where. I just wanted to make sure that you knew where you could find that. Okay, I'm going to set my Easy Press Mini to a medium, and we'll wait for that to heat up. While we're waiting for that to heat up, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my surface. So I am gonna do front and back, but for the time being, I'm gonna do the front first. So I'm going to lint roll this pocket. And the reason we lint roll is we wanna make sure that there's no dust, debris on the shirt that can affect the transfer of the HTV. And HTV stands for heat transfer vinyl. So, okay. And while I'm here, I will lint roll the back. I'm gonna give it another lint roll before I finish, but I'm just going to get a preliminary, see, we can see it's kind of like a green color now, so just gonna get some of the larger debris bits off. So this is kind of a larger shirt. I like my shop shirts to be kind of loose and not restraining, so that I don't have to pull at it, play with it while I'm using my tools and machinery. So I'm gonna, okay. So the beep means we're ready. So I'm gonna give it the preheat. I'm mainly trying to iron out that large crease that's in here. It's just been folded up for a long time, so it's got that pretty harsh crease. Okay. And I'm going to find my placement here. Okay. I think that may be a little crooked. Okay, I'm gonna move it over just a hair. Okay. I think that's good. I think I'm okay with that one. Okay, so now we're gonna go 25 seconds. Okay, and remember, so we want the easy mini press to be constantly moving. Okay, I'm gonna just make sure that I get all of it. I have a medium pressure, I'm not pressing too hard. And I have a nice flat surface underneath, because if I don't have a flat surface, that may affect how some of it transfers. And I've not been counting, so I think that might be good. Okay, and remember this is a cool peel, and we are gonna flip, okay, and do 15-second press. Okay. All right, so now this on my glass mat is going to draw out the heat very well. I'm going to go ahead and peel this because it is cool. Like I said, the glass really helps draw out that heat. Okay, there's the first one. Now I'm going to do the white. So the key for this side to do the white is we want to be sure that not only the placement is correct, right? Like that's obviously an important piece, but what I want to make sure is that this film is covering what I've already pressed down. Because if it's not, then the HTV is going to stick to this and it's going to melt and stick to it. And that's not what we want. So this little star in the corner, this M here, I've got it all covered by the film. So I'm good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and start pressing this one, 25 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna lay this on my glass mat. Again, just to draw out some of that heat, and that's gonna cool it down a little bit faster. Okay, so this is done and it is ready to peel. However, because I'm doing a design on the back, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on. I just don't want anything affecting this front design. So I'm going to place this on here, and I am going to do a couple of preliminary tasks here. Okay. So that pocket is going to create a little bit of a bump. I will keep that in mind when I'm doing the press. Okay, this is a rather larger design, so it's going to take the best thing that I mean, one of the things that I love about the Easy Press Mini is I have this larger design and I don't actually have to do multiple passes because I can just do everything at once. Okay. I just need to make sure that there's no overlap that is affecting the design. For example, I have mom and coffee are on two separate. This little coffee cup goes here, but I want to make sure that I don't put it this way, because if I put it this way and this film is underneath the M is not going to transfer onto the shirt correctly. So I want to make sure that it's this way. I want to make sure all of the HTV is in direct contact with the material, and I can go ahead and put it this way, and that's fine. Okay, so we want to double check on that. Okay, and I could have done the design to where I could have just laid two sheets down, but I wanted to make sure that I did save what I could of material. Okay, so it's gonna go like right there, and I'm gonna adjust this. I'm just doing this dry run real quick to make sure that I have everything where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna double check and trim any films that need to be trimmed. Oh goodness. All right, it's gonna go like up there. This one goes here, that goes there, and we'll do this one second, obviously. And then this one's gonna go right here. Okay, so this is what the design is gonna look like. I don't want it this high up on the shirt, so I'm gonna move it. Okay, so I have everything placed and ready. I am going to start my transfer. Let me just double check. I've already checked all of my HTV placement. So I am going to kind of give everybody a first run, and that way it's going to kind of stick everybody down a little bit better. All right, and now I'm going to go back. All right, and I'm going to work on this for about 25 seconds on each piece. All right, now I'm going to lay it on the glass to draw out this extra heat. Okay, and it really does draw out this heat so quickly. I mean, it's already cool to the touch. Yeah, okay. Let me check. Okay, so it looks like so far so good. Be very gentle. Okay. All right, again, just gonna draw this heat out. Okay. While I'm doing that, I will peel this side. Okay, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm super excited about it. Okay. Okay, and half is coming off so far very nicely. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me for these 5 crafts. I think this is so cute and I'm so excited about it.